let's kind of get a better idea of what's going on here. So why do casinos have what do casinos have that most players do not have? What is it? What do casinos have? Money. Loads of money. How do they get it? From you. What do insurance companies have that most people do not have? Money. Loads of money. How do they get it? From you. How many of you here in this class would relish the idea, chance, or opportunity to be a casino or insurance company as a retail trader in the stock market? Well, that's what this class is all about. The number one concept to learn in selling options is this: time is money. You will learn that. Time is money. What are the odds of you succeeding in the stock market selling options? Well, here we go. And you can check this out on your ChatGPT. Please try to grasp the most important point of this course. You can type into ChatGPT this question: for retail traders, what is the percentage of consistent successful trades buying options? 70 to 90%? ChatGPT has it even worse. Of 70 to 90% of retail traders of options lose money over time buying them. Only 5 to 10% will make profits after paying commissions and premiums. The premiums that are paid to you and the commissions to do this. What you need to realize that you are the retail seller to those buyers. If their success rate is less than 10%, what do you think yours is? Selling to them. 90 to 100. Ben was saying pretty close to 100, and I agree. Pretty close to, I'm not going to make you any promises here, but in doing this, and if you get it done right, you're going to have pretty close to 100% success rate. Again, you have to understand what you're doing. So let's go over what this all means. The buyers of options. And I don't know if any of you have your platforms. Some of you need a platform like Charles Schwab or Fidelity or Robinhood or whatever you're trading with. I can't really help you the mechanics of putting those in unless I'm seeing your platform and showing you. But let's talk about what happens to these buyers of options. The BTO, or buy to open, on your option chain, they're buying your MENA contract, and you're going to say, why does he call it MENA contract? On their platform option chains, they buy your covered calls. That's 100 shares that you're willing to part from. They buy your cash secured puts. They have no obligations to do anything. They pay you premiums up front, just like you pay the casinos or the insurance company. You're not going to do anything for your insurance. They make you pay your premium every 6 months to a year on your car. Am I right? Yes. And they're very happy if they get at the end of that 6 months and you have not made a claim. Thank you for your premium. Let's do it again. You go into the casino. Oh, look at this. I see the roulette or whatever. No, okay, I see red, 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 red. Well, maybe it's going to be black now. So you put down a $100 bill on black and it falls on red. They say, thank you very much. You just lost $100. Why? Because they have ways of manipulating those wheels. Believe me, I know. Anyway, that's for a different story. But so they're happy to take your money. It's just so insurance companies happy, and so is the casinos happy. But I want you guys to learn how to do it in the stock market. All right. So if the stock market price goes up above what we call the call strike price, like the $100 for the jeans, at an expiration time, They will make money if it covers their paid premiums plus going still higher, like I was showing. If the stock market price goes below the put strike price at expiration, they will make money if it covers their paid premiums plus going still lower. If the above doesn't happen, they lose their premium money. If it doesn't exceed the strike price at time of expiration, you keep your premium and they lose theirs. Same with the put. If it doesn't drop below what you set at the end of the time of expiration, you keep all your cash plus the premium and they lose theirs.
Each one of you should know that when you sell a MENA contract, you have legal obligations. The buyer has options, but no obligation.
Here we go. So this now is you, sellers of MENA contracts, and I'm using the word MENA because of the Greek influence here, and we'll be talking about where the origin of that word comes from. You sell to open your MENA contracts on your platform option chain. At contract expiration, you are obligated to sell your 100 covered call shares per contract. So let's say if you have one contract, that's 100. Well, what if you own 1,000 shares? Well, each contract is got 100 in it. So instead of selling one contract, you could actually go to 10. All right. And now the premiums are 10 times for that time frame what it was to sell one. Okay. Now, you sell your 100 covered call shares per contract to the buyer if the contracts expire in the money. And this is an important thing to know. 100, $100, 100 shares. And you are going to now sell them. Like I said, we're now going to 120. Let's say that is what you set it up as, 100, and we're now we'll be willing to take in our contract $100 that you bought them for. Let's say it's now 100, and then we're going to sell it at 120. I don't want to go back to that slide. So if the stock price goes above at expiration this 120, this is where you said you were happy to sell it now. Instead of 100, let's say we are going to sell at 120. This here, once it exceeds by 0.01 cents, it is now what's called in the money or intrinsic value. The same is with it this way. If you were willing to, with your cash, okay, I now, instead of buying this stock at 100, I'm willing to buy it because I like it. I think I can get it cheaper. The same thing happens. If it goes below this 80, it is now in the money for the buyer, and you are developing intrinsic value. I know my writing's bad, but I'm trying to speak it. So this down here and this up here is your intrinsic value. Okay, that's what in the money stands for. Let's get this out of the way. The contract will be assigned if it is just 1 cent or more above, okay? If it's above or even below your set price. As the seller of MENA contracts, you have 3 contract management options before your time of expiration, whether it's a week, 2 days, 1 day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, even a year. All right, here's what you can do with it. First, you can choose to buy back your contract at any time before the date of expiration. Ben does that, I think. Choose it. Yeah, there we go. Second, so what did he do? So he had offered a contract. I will do, was it a call or was it a call or a put? It was a put. All right. So anyway, he said, I'm happy to buy at this low price. But he said, well, no, I'm not so sure I want to do that. So he went ahead and closed it. He bought it back. He purchased it back. And now the money that he had on hold is now in your account, on hold. All right. If it had been a covered call and a lot like now where the stock market's depressed, is no way is it going to go above your strike price on a covered call. It has to go above. And you're at 100 and now it's sitting down here. The value of that contract will will plummet, and then you can buy it back and use those 100 shares however you want. Second, you can choose to allow your contract to expire worthless or get assigned at the date of expiration. Is that confusing to anyone? You can allow your contract to expire worthless. Well, what does that mean, expire worthless? It's in this range right here. This is the expire worthless right here for a covered call or for a cash secured put. You're willing to buy down here, but it never gets to 80. It never gets there. You keep your full premium and the buyer loses all his premium that he paid you up front. It just never got there. Same with this. You're willing to share your 100 shares, $10,000 worth, up at $1,000, up at $120 or $12,000 worth, and it never makes it. The premium paid to you is yours. Expires worthless because it didn't meet your contract criteria. I will sell you 100 shares at 120 in a certain amount of time. Now, to try to understand what I'm talking about, time is money. So, well, let me finish this. Remember the underlying shares or money on hold in these contracts is not what's worthless. The shares they just didn't get to where they didn't get above and they didn't get below, but they still carry value. And if you're holding them in your account value will go up and down according to those 100 shares. But the account value does not with a cash secured put, because cash is the value that you have and it does not go up or down. Cash does not go up or down. The power of that cash to buy something, that's a different story. But when you do a cash secured put, if the stock does not go below down here, you still have your cash and the premium. You follow me on that? It's pretty, okay. But there's more risk on cash secured puts, but let's see what we can do. So, third, you can choose to roll your contract, what's called in, out, up, or down, and potentially keep your MENA contract working for you forever. You go, what are you talking about? Well, here it is. Rolling your contracts will make you pay the buyer. So what does this mean, rolling? So before expiration, in your trading platform, you can go where you see your option sitting there and you're watching it, what it's doing. You can click on it and it'll ask you, do you want to buy to close, sell to open, sell to close, sell to open? Do you want to roll it? And so you say, I want to roll it. And you click on that and it'll ask you which one you want. Okay, the one you want. And it will automatically puts you out to the next expiration date. If you had set it up for 1 week, it'll put it out to 1 week, or if they only are every month, it'll then put it out to the next month. Well, what's so interesting about that is what's called extrinsic value. That's where your time comes in. The more time that you have before expiration, the buyer has more of a probability of getting his intrinsic value. We'll see about how this works. So, okay, rolling your contracts will make you pay the buyer his intrinsic value if you're here right before 4 o'clock and you go, I want to keep my shares, so I'm going to just roll it a week. You can do that. And what will happen is that week of value will then buy the intrinsic value, depending on how much it is, the intrinsic value, and he's getting paid. You're paying him, but you say, I don't want to lose my 100 shares. Okay, pay him off. And then another week. And by the next week, look at that, it comes down below 120 and your contract expires worthless and you still have your 100 shares and you make a little money just by rolling it. And it's hard to, you have to have a platform for me to show you how that works. In other words, here's the thing. Rolling your contract will make you pay the buyer his intrinsic value, but here's the big but. But you can let future time, future extrinsic value pay the buyer, and it doesn't come from your brokerage account. Never does it come from your brokerage account. You're not getting your money taken from you. You're selling time with Mina weights. Okay? You're selling time, extrinsic value, with the Mina weights. In other words, you as the seller of Mina contracts can use future time value, extrinsic value, to purchase intrinsic value forever. You can go out 2 years and you'll get a good premium, but is it worth it to do that? We'll find out. So here is another one of my quotes right there. A lot of people will say, oh, you shouldn't be doing these options because you're capping your value going up or going, selling it before it goes down. Okay, yes, I am capping that, but I don't have a clue how high it's going to go. I am doing what I can with my 100 shares and working it. I'm not waiting 3 months for a dividend. Some companies, you can do this too. I am trading the time. The time these is valuable. Now, you cannot cap time. As long as you are still alive, there will always be more to sell. Every single week or month or whatever. As long as you're alive, there'll always be more of the extrinsic value.
Remember that when you sell a Mina contract, you have legal obligations. The buyer has options, but no obligation.
Okay, so let's find out. What type of legal contracts are you currently buying that you pay premiums to obtain that have expiration dates? Listen.
Would you like a 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, or 1 year car insurance contract?
Did you hear that? 1 week, 1 month, 6 month, 1 year. Here's my question. Take a look at this. What is the best time to expiration contract that the car insurance gentleman can sell to the lady for the highest annualized premiums he can and will continue to receive as long as she pays the premiums? Does anyone have an answer? What is it?
The year.
The what?
The year.
Nope. The 1 week. We will analyze this very important fact with every sold covered call option contract and with every sold cash secured put option contract. And here it is. Hey, look at this. And if I ask Siri, it'll show it again. How much is weekly car insurance? Okay, where's my, I need to. what did I do with my, I'll use my dirty Sudarium. All right, so calculators, all got your calculators? Because here's what we're going to want to do. What it says on the board there, I ask, and this is pretty current. All right, here we go. What is for weekly car insurance? Okay. $10 to $25 a day. $10 per day. 25 per day. Someone tell me, I know the answer, but what is 10 times 365? All right, let's do that. 3,000. Here we go. $3,650. Correct? Give me, how much is it for $25 a day?
9,125.
Thank you. 9,125?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're getting a feel for what it would cost to do a weekly car insurance contract, 1 week. Well, let's see. How much is it monthly? All right, so now this is week, and now for month it's 209. And what does it say for the year? For 1 year,
2513.
2513. Let me make this a little better over here. All right. 209. Which amount is higher? The weekly or monthly? Higher. Let's go to the 1 year. Here we go. So there it is. For 1 year, this was one month. Here's week, 1 week. This is important to understand. For 1 year, you're going to be paying at 1 year, what was that? 2,290. 2,290. Or you could get it as low as 623. Did I get that right? 623 a year. Or $52. $52 a month. Now, you being the seller, like this gentleman, you being the seller of these insurance contracts, what is the highest amount of money that you as the seller can make? Is it weekly, monthly, or yearly? That's right. Same with the options. You as the seller, you can get your best daily premiums at 1 week or even days. In fact, and I'm going to show you, Apple has them every 2 days. You can do these contracts every 2 days with Apple. With Google, with there's some of the Magic, you have, the Magic 7, they're a lot more money that you have to come up with, but you can trade them every 2 days. Every $2, 2 days. Boom, cash in your, boom, 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 boom. But you really want to know what you're doing when you get there. But my point is, your day, if you were to take this, how much is this per day? Divide 9,000, well, there it is, I already got it. $25 a day, $10 a day. Here it's down at 50, is that per day? what is it, 52? That's per month. So divide 623 by 365. Anybody do that for me? 623 divided by 365.
$1.71.
One, yeah.
271?
$1.71.
All right.
$1.71.
Oh, $1.71? Worse. Remember, you're the seller. Is that what you want? What if I can get this? 25 bucks a day out of this buyer. Okay. So, what did they have at the time of Herod the Great and and at the time of Jesus, and what was their markets? Well, so these first and second stewards in Matthew that made a ton of money, and also in Luke, what were they doing? They were wise, and they may have traded their talents, mean as pounds, to increase their master's king's money. What were they? Straw, hay, seed to use to plant, barley, wheat, corn. They had camels, horses, donkeys, bulls, cows, sheep, goats, doves. There's a lot of industry right there. Food, bakeries, mills, wells, olives. We're going to get into olives. Figs, grapes, wine, pomegranate dates, honey, palms. Clothing, transportation. They had inns, theater production, temple animal sacrifices, temple money exchangers. That was huge. Military complex, weapons, supplies, iron, brass, silver, and gold, coinage, and furnishings. I am telling you, they had some real impressive markets back in 1000 and even before. 1000 BCE and through the 100 BCE to 100. They weren't fooling around. They were making a lot of money. So, what about today? What's happening today? So, today we have 11 major sectors. This is the Global Industry Classification Standard, or GICS. Energy. Do any of you ever buy energy? Yes.
Yeah.
Every time you go to the gas station, you buy energy. Okay. I just put some propane in my tank so that my wife will stay warm. That's an important thing. Okay, coal. How many of you have ever seen any coal burning furnaces? Are anyone alive enough to see that? Yes. Yeah, okay. We kind of know. My grandfather, I remember as a kid, him getting this coal and sticking it in the furnace and burning it and stuff like that. I haven't seen any since then, but there are coal burning power plants. Okay, there are generators there that's using coal. So it's still in use. So what companies out there? ExxonMobil, Chevron. Materials, metals, mining, chemicals, construction materials, DuPont, Dow. All right, aerospace for industrials, aerospace, defense machinery, transportation, Boeing, Caterpillar. Consumer discretionary, your retail, like your Walmarts and Ingles and whatever stores, I don't want to leave anybody out. Autos, hotels, leisure, Amazon, Tesla for cars, Tesla. Food for consumer staples, food, beverages, household products, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. Let's keep going. Healthcare. Healthcare is big. Pharmaceuticals, biotech, medical devices, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, financials, banks, insurance, investment firms, JP Morgan, Chase, Goldman Sachs. Information technology, that's the one that's getting really, they're getting really nailed over these last few days, is that one right there. Information technology. Software, hardware, semiconductors, although Apple isn't. In fact, when I looked on my market watch today, when you can, on your platform, they publish every day. Apple is getting a very good report. They're reporting it up to 325 as a target price. And right now they're at like 170. What did I just, was I on Apple? They're right at 274, right? 274.62 to 325 to 50. Well, they're doing something right. Okay. So Microsoft has just gotten nailed. Microsoft lost over what, 4 billion in market cap just within the last week. Really down. So communication, telecom, media, entertainment, Alphabet, Meta. Meta's Facebook, Alphabet's Google. Utilities, electric, water, gas, utility. Duke Energy. I have bought Duke many times. Why? Because they pay a dividend. And I would then buy it, wait for it to go what's called ex-dividend. What that means is that day, if you were the owner the day before, you would get paid the dividend. When it goes ex-dividend, if you bought the stock that day, you're gonna have to wait for the next dividend. You lose the right to that dividend. But anyway, I would buy Duke just to get that dividend. And then when it will drop the amount, like Duke was paying like over $1 per share. Well, when it goes ex-dividend, your value actually goes down the same amount. So you have to wait for the value to come back up. Then I would sell my Duke, take that same money and go in to buy same thing with banks like Regions Financial or Banco ZK or United Community Bank or some other different companies that I could see they're coming up on another ex-dividend. It's a lot of work, folks. And it's only every 3 months that you get paid, or I can get you in these options on a day, 2 day, a week. It's a lot different. Okay, now, NextEra Real Estate, REITs. That's a real estate investment trust. And I did show you, I do have one that I don't trade it. I just add to it because it's a good AGNC. It's one of the, and I'm like I say, I'm not recommending anything because there are other ones out there, but it gives you every month a dividend. Every month you're getting a dividend with AGNC. NADLA, and NADLA also does it. But for me personally, I do like the AGNC. I don't do options on it. I just buy it to get the dividends. Anyway, so you guys, you'd have to look at it for yourself. So here's an overview of these S&P 500 sectors by Speed Trader. And you can see at a glance all the different groups that you can trade in. You can buy, sell, do options in. Technology obviously is big, financial, healthcare. Let's do it again. Here is where it's broken down all in 9%, since there are 11 of them. 9, all the way around. You say, well, you're missing 1%. Where do you think that is? Information. NVIDIA. That's the biggest company, has the highest market cap in the world, is NVIDIA. So it's probably in that one. Other ones are coming up, you know. Walmart just hit $1 trillion. Here it is again. Same thing, all the different groups.
This could be your wheel of fortune. There are 11 sectors to trade in.
I'll let it go on.
This could be your wheel of fortune. There are 11 sectors to trade in.
Okay. So that's exactly what I have been discussing, is that you have the ability to choose from many different companies and many different sectors. And you don't have to go into the ones that are just up and down and up. You look for ones maybe a little more stable.